Good morning, children. Okay, are you fine? Okay, today we are going to learn the remaining part of the second chapter, shadow. Okay, please listen. Okay, can you see this, the shadow flower? Okay, can you see this shadow flower? Okay, 1 minute. Okay, this is the shadow of flower. Okay, shadow of flower. This is the shadow of flower. Can you see the shadow of flower on the board? Yes. Next one. Yes, shadow of bottle. Shadow of bottle. Can you see? Okay. Understand the meaning of shadow? Do you understand? Okay. Yes. Okay. Today I explain the meaning of this poem. Okay, first stanza, please listen, take your textbook and please listen the first stanza of my shadow. That goes in and out with me, and what can be use of him is more than I can see. In this first stanza, poet is saying that he has a little reflection of him. He has a little reflection of him that follows wherever he goes. That follows wherever he goes. In this first stanza, poet is saying that he has a little shadow. He has a little shadow or little reflection of him. Little shadow of him or little reflection of him, which is shadow. Okay, little reflection of him, which is shadow, that is follows wherever he goes. That is follows wherever he goes. Okay, the poet is cannot be understand the use of this following shadows. The use of this, the poet cannot be understand the shadows following him. The shadows following him. Okay, in this stanza we cannot be able to understand use of shadow except that shadows follow him. Okay, that follow him. Okay, next line, next stanza. He is very, very like to me. He is very, very like to me. From the heels up to the head, and I see him jump before me when I jump into my bed. He is very, very like me. From heels up to the head, and I see him jump before me when I jump into my bed. Here poet is saying that reflection is totally like from head to toe. The poet is saying that the shadow is or the reflection is totally like to me, like to poet, like to him, like to him, like to me here, the like to him. Okay, the shadow or the reflection is totally like to same, totally same him. The from head to heel, head to heel. Heel means our feet. Okay, back side of our feet. Then here poet says that the reflection of poet is totally same as from head to heel of poet. Okay, the shadow is same as from head to heel of poet. Okay, understand? Okay, I see him jump before me when I jump to my bed. Okay, here when he goes to the bed, when he goes to sleep, when he goes to bed means when he goes to sleep, the shadows jump into the bed before him, before poet. When he goes to bed or goes to sleeping, when he goes to sleeping, the shadows jump into the bed before him, before poet. Okay, next one. He is very like me from the heel up to the head, and I see him jump before me when I jump into my bed. Okay, the poet is saying that the shadow or reflection is similarly like to head to heel, and when he goes to the bed, when he goes to sleeping, the shadows jump into the bed before the poet or before him. Okay, yes. The funniest thing about him is the way he likes to grow, and not at all a proper children. Not at all like proper children, which is always very slow. The poet finds it very funny and strange. It is very funny and strange, The way shadows increases in size. The way of shadows increases in size. The shadows grows immediately. Suddenly, the shadows grow suddenly. And whereas the children grow up, take time to grow up. In the whereas the children take time to grow up, but the shadows grows immediately. This is the funniest and strange thing in this stanza. Poets finds the funniest and strange the way of shadows increasing in size, Shadows increasing the size immediately or suddenly. In the shadows increasing the size immediately or suddenly. Whereas the children take time to grow up. The children take time to grow up. Okay. Here the funniest and strange thing is the way of increasing size of shadows. Shadows grows immediately. Okay. Can you understand? Okay. For he sometimes shoots up taller like a rubber ball. Here the poet comparing the growth of the shadows. Here the poet comparing the growth of shadows like the rubber ball, Indian rubber ball. Rubber ball bounce up and down. Here the poet says that the shadows of the kid or shadows of the poet like grows in small and large, or the size of shadows is increase and decrease. The size of shadows is increase and decrease. Here for he sometimes shoots up taller like a rubber ball. Shoots up means, what is the meaning of shoots up? Please listen, new words. Shoots up, grows tall very quickly. Here poet saying that the sometimes shoots up, suddenly growing, quickly growing, very tall. Here the comparing with the, here poet comparing the growth of the shadow like the rubber ball, Indian rubber ball. Indian rubber ball is bounce up and down, suddenly up and down. Here the shadows grows up and down, suddenly shoot. Okay. And he sometimes gets the so little than the other. Sometimes the shadows very tiny. And small, that seems like nothing is there. Sometimes the so tiny and small, that seen is nothing is there. Okay, nothing is there. Okay, I have a little shadow. Here poet saying that he has a little reflection or that which is the shadows, little reflection of him which is the shadows that follows him, these shadows follows him wherever he goes, and what can be used of him is more than I can. The poet not able to understand the use of this shadow except the shadows follows him. Next line, he is a very very like me from heels to head. Here poet saying that the shadows like to poet or like to kid or like to same as poet from head to heel or heel to head, same as to the poet. Shadow same as the poet from heel to head. Okay, I see he jump before me and when I jump into my bed. When he goes to bed, when he goes to sleeping, the shadows jump into the bed before the poet. Okay, next line, the funniest thing about him is the way he likes to grow. The funniest and strange thing, he find the funniest and strange thing, the way of growth of shadows. Okay, the growth of shadow is sometimes some shadows grows immediately, but whereas the children take time to grow up. Whereas the children take time to grow up, but here the shadows grows immediately. Okay, next line, for he sometimes shoots up taller like a rubber ball. Sometimes he shoots up quickly, suddenly taller the shadows, because he comparing the Indian rubber ball. Rubber ball bounce up and down suddenly. Suddenly. So the poet comparing the growth of the shadows up suddenly, big and small. Okay, big and small suddenly. And he sometimes gets so little that there's none of him at all. No shadow. Sometimes we can see no shadows in these lines. Okay, can you understand? Okay. Next, please listen some words from the new words from this chapter. Okay, and please write on your notebook. Little, Little. How to read it as little. Okay, next, shadow, SHADOW, shadow. Next one, like, LIKE, like. Next, use, USE, use. Next, goes, GOES, goes. Heels, HEELS, heels. Next, jump, JUMP, jump. Next, shoots up, suddenly growing, quickly growing or suddenly growing is meaning. Children, CHILDREN. Proper, PROPER, proper. Rubber ball, RUBBER, rubber ball. Okay. Head. Okay. Please write on these words on your notebook and study the spelling of these words. Okay. I hope today all of you had understood our class. Next class we will write our exercise from this chapter. Take care. Thank you.